A dredging project in Barnstable Harbor is set to begin. Town employees are inviting the public to join their toy drive. And we get an update from Police Chief Paul McDonald on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, December 8th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. A project to dredge Barnstable Harbor begins this month. DPW Director Dan Santos says dredging the area is a necessary step as harbor depths are getting dangerous for larger vessels.
That work is going to begin the week of December 21st, and we have a very tight window to do that. There are some environmental controls that the state places on us, so that we have to be concluded with the dredging proper by January 15th.
Santos says they will make use of the cleared sand and deposit it where it's needed.
In this case, it's going to two different places. Some of it's going on the point of Sandy Neck, and then some of it is going to be pumped back on to the Blish Point boat ramp area, and where the water will drain out of it, and then we'll haul it to Sandy Neck by the bathhouse where we've had to bring sand the last few years. So we'll be able to use this material and not have to buy sand, which we've done for the past couple of winters just to protect that area.
Santos says the process for making use of the sand is a fairly quick one.
Pumping it, and that goes pretty quickly, pumping it to the location, and then we keep track of it like every day. We'll take a look at the moisture content, and then when we determine that it's such a moisture content that it's okay to load in trucks and it's not going to be dripping water the whole way, and it goes pretty quickly because it's sand. As you know, at the beach, right?
Of course.
Make a sand castle. The
Yeah.
water drains out of there pretty quickly.
Santos says the town's boat ramp will remain open during the project. Town employees are collecting toys to help the Cape Cod community this holiday season. Town Insurance and Asset Coordinator Teresa Santos helps to organize the drive. Santos says the need is huge.
Everybody is well aware between jobs and pay and mortgages and everything that's going on in everybody's life. And a program like this that collects toys and gift cards for older teens helps give them something that they would not otherwise have. Teens are hard to shop for. Gift cards are great. I encourage everybody to please consider donating. Public is invited to donate to our toy drive as well.
Anyone can donate to the town's toy drive. A collection box is located at every town office. Toys and gift cards will be accepted until Thursday, December 10th. The holidays are even busy for the Barnstable Police Department. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin chats with Police Chief Paul McDonald about how his staff handles holiday strolls and about recent happenings in the department. And he even has some tips on how residents can stay safe this holiday season.
So, Chief, I want to start. Why don't we run down? Of course, it was a very busy weekend in our various villages. Holiday strolls all over the place and beautiful weather. So I'm sure lots of people at every single one of them, as it was in the Hyannis one where I was at.
It was a great turnout. Most of the strolls did happen last week. Barnstable was last Wednesday. Hyannis was Saturday. Marston Mills, Centerville, and then West Barnstable had the tree lighting, and they were all very, very successful. There was a huge crowd at each and every one of them. There were no problems at all. But I was most impressed with the Main Street Hyannis one. There was a huge turnout there for that one. Then after that one, on Sunday night, I went down to Centerville for a little while. It was earlier this year. It was from 3 to 6 on Sunday afternoon, and there was a huge turnout down there too, as well as in Barnstable Village. So it was a great event for everyone. And of course, the last stroll comes up this Friday over in the village of Osterville, and that's usually a good turnout for that one too. So I hope the weather holds out for them.
Indeed. And Chief, for Friday, are there any road closures in Osterville that people need to be aware of?
No, Osterville, there is road closures. The whole downtown is closed. From the area of Main Street and West Bay Road down by Wimpy's, it's closed there, all the way up to the other end by Parker and Main Street, where it's closed there. So that whole area, the triangle there, Weano Avenue and Main Street, that whole area is closed down pretty tight. But there's bands down there. The streets are all crowded. So it's a great occasion. There'll be a number of police officers down there to reroute everyone around the center. And there's really not much of a problem down there.
Wonderful. Good to hear. hear. And as you were mentioning before we got on the air, pretty quiet in terms of police action over the past week. Let's talk a little bit about
It's been quiet for the last 5 or 6 weeks. It's been very, very quiet down here. Crime is down. That's real good news. The call volume is still there. Last 6 days we handle about almost 1,000 calls. On the average week we handle about 1,100 to 1,250 calls per week. This week was a little bit less, right around 980,000 calls. But we're busy, but it's just a routine call, general calls for service, helping the public. The Part 1 crimes are down significantly. There were 22 arrests made, and that's down. Usually we average up between 30 and 40 arrests per week, and they range from shoplifting to parole violations, all relatively minor offenses. The most significant was Mr. Walters, Dijon Walters. He was arrested for possession of Class B substance with intent to distribute. He was just released from jail. We covered him about a year and a half ago. He's one of the individuals that broke into a number of commercial establishments along Main Street. He was arrested. He was subsequently sentenced to a year. He got out. It's only been out for a relatively short time. Was picked up again. So he has to go back and serve the rest of his time, which I believe is another year and a half. And then the other significant incident, there was a fire at 174 Main Street, Hyannis, where the building had to be evacuated as a precautious measure. But once the building was clear, the smoke was relatively minor in nature and confined to the kitchen area, one of the apartments, and everybody was allowed to go back into the building. So besides that, it was a pretty quiet week.
Great. Chief, I know we talked about this last week, but wanted to remind everyone just to be vigilant and be safe when they're doing their holiday shopping and even protecting their homes. Of course, this is the time of year when a lot of people are out buying things, going back and forth to cars, bringing things back into the home. So let's talk about a couple of things that people can do to make sure that they aren't targeted by potential thieves.
This time of year, we always have a spike in the shoplifting and the beanie motor vehicles, particularly around the malls areas. You have groups of individuals who purposely walk the parking lots, looking for vehicles that are chock full of holiday presents. So we caution everybody, make sure the cars are locked. If you have anything of value inside the passenger compartment of the vehicle, it should be moved to the trunk area and secured in the trunk area so it's not visible to the public. But we do have extra patrols along Route 132, a lot of plainclothes officers down there, and we're just looking at the past B&E report for the last week, and we've only had 2 motor vehicle break-ins for the entire week, which is down significantly from the past number of years. So, but I would still, you have to be leery because that's what these individuals are looking for.
Indeed, and just one more thing, as we head into the winter, of course, we've had relatively mild temperatures, but I know that as we get into January and February, it is going to get colder, and of course, we do, again, unfortunately have that large number of homeless individuals living here in town. So concerns, I would imagine, will rise as the temperatures begin to fall.
That's always a concern for us. We're out there all the time looking for the camps, and actually we just spoke with DPW yesterday and the Sheriff's Department, and we are going to go down there and move out a couple of camps along Old Colony, West Main Street, and North Street, Hyannis. That's starting to encroach in certain neighborhoods. We've been getting a number of complaints from them. We've already gone down there, talked to the inhabitants, try to get them into the shelter or try to hook them up to social services to get the services they need. But we will be moving some of the camps out on the 17th, December 17th. So we're going out there now. We're walking the woods trying to identify all the camps, who's out there, let them know what's going on, let them know the services are available to them, but we're not going to allow them to stay in the camps.
And you can hear from Chief McDonald every Tuesday morning during our 1-hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning. That program airs weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we'll get the latest real estate numbers with Register of Deeds Jack Mead. We'll have our veteran segment, plus we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.